It's Ryan Chernochan with Remax, your friend in real estate. I was all excited to do my next video log on investment condos and where to buy them in the Lower Mainland and what to look for and that sort of thing, and I'm still going to do that. But in my last video, I did say that I was going to document the daily occurrences that happen in real estate, and wouldn't you know it, something came up. So today, I'm going to talk to you about multiple offer situations. Stay tuned. So here's the situation. I've been showing houses to clients for a little while now, and they finally found one that checked off the most boxes. And what I mean by that is everybody has that list of things that they want to see in that home before they buy it. Is it the right size? Is the yard large enough? Does it need renovation? Things like that. Every time you go into a property, you might actually think of something you may not have thought of previously. And it evolves. So they get to this house, and this house checks off most of the boxes. And in real estate, it's extremely hard, maybe impossible, to find a house that checks off every box. It's not impossible, but you need to keep adding money to your budget until you get to that perfect house, and that's not always feasible for a lot of people. So usually to find a property within your budget, you just have to find one that checks the most boxes. So this house checked off most boxes. So I chatted with my clients, we sat down and wrote an offer. I called the other realtor to let her know that I had an offer to present. She said that the sellers weren't available that night and that it would have to wait till the next day, which is fine. But wouldn't you know it, in this competitive market, another realtor and his buyers also wrote an offer, and so now we're in a multiple offer situation. So I'm going to go over a number of things you need to consider and factor in when you're in a multiple offer situation. Price is king. Every buyer should go into a multiple offer situation with the intent on giving the best offer they can first. Meaning, and that sounds obvious, but a lot of people think that when they make an offer in a multiple offer situation, they're going to have the ability to better that offer later if their first one isn't good enough. But the fact is, most realtors and most sellers, if they've got 10 offers in front of them, 9 out of 10 times, they're simply going to go with the best offer that they see in that first round, and the other 9 are going to be out of luck. It's very rare the other 9 are going to get a phone call asking them if they can do better. So you need to put your best foot forward right off the bat. The second thing I always say to clients is, when I go in to present, write a letter to the sellers that I can take with me. Put a photo of yourself on the letter. Photo of your family, your pets. Because when I go in to present, I need to paint a picture. I need to tell the sellers who you as the buyers are. Because although money is the most important these days, given how competitive this market is, if it just so happens that your offer is one of the best ones and it's very similar to another offer, maybe in price, who the sellers sell it to might make a difference. For example, if a seller has been inside their home for years and they're going to sell it to someone who's just going to tear it down versus sell it to someone who's also going to live in the home for years and enjoy the home, they might prefer to sell it to the people that are going to live in it rather than tear it down. Again, though, my experience in this very crazy Lower Mainland market is show people enough money, and I hate to say it, but they'll sell it to anybody. I'm going to go over a few more things that you need to know about making your offer the strongest it can be in a multiple offer situation. So stick with me. We're going to go for a ride, and I'm going to talk to you when I'm standing outside the house just before my presentation. Here we go. Hey, so I'm outside the house now. I can see the other realtor's car. I recognize it. I know who he is. He's in there presenting right now. So as I said earlier, there's a couple things you can do to put your offer in the best position possible outside of offering more money. Number one is the subjects or the conditions you've got on your offer. A subject might be subject to inspection or subject to financing. The less subjects you have, the better off it is for the seller. So the extreme of that is something called a no subject offer. That's where you make an offer of price only, essentially, a deposit, and the possession dates, and if the seller likes that, they can sign that offer and then it is officially accepted. Something with subjects or conditions for you as the buyer to have to remove puts the ability in your hands as the buyer to walk away from purchasing the property if you don't like the outcome of your subjects. So if you get an inspection done and you don't like what the inspector has to say, then you can walk away from purchasing the property. So of course, as a seller, they're going to want to see the least number of subjects or conditions. Keep that in mind. Number two is the deposit. A larger deposit amount does signify a stronger financial capability. So as when a seller sees a very, very, very small deposit, they might take it as though you're not willing to put enough skin in the game. Now, if you put down a bigger deposit and then you have a subject on your offer and you decide this may be an inspection and you don't like how the inspection went, so you decide not to buy the property, will you get that deposit back? Yes. It still shows how much cash you have available to put down prior to the completion, and that shows strength. So those are two things you can do that are going to help your offer. Less subjects and conditions, as long as you're comfortable with that, and a larger deposit. But keep in mind, show enough money to people and they'll sell it to whoever, whenever. So keep that in mind. Okay, I think the realtor is coming out of the house now, so it's my turn. Accepted offer, man.